You know the drill. You buy the ticket, you take the ride. Hi, I'm back from the 2-week hiatus. So was it 2 weeks? I don't remember. It was a couple days. I'm feeling much better. I got to go to a whole bunch of fucking shows, and man, they were rad. The Millville Music Fest, that was really cool. First time I've seen bodies flying like that in a while, and that felt really good. And then that takes me back to last Friday, which was the Riot Squad Media / Steel City Destroyers event that had Public Serpents, Working Class Stiffs, The Filthy Lowdown, and my guest today, Loud Love out of New Jersey. Nick, can you bring him on? Guys, what's up?
What's happening?
What's going on, man?
Not much. Nice to see you again.
Good to
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, I at least get to talk to you this time. We saw each other though.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was telling you offline that I was bummed that I did not get to hang out with you, but that is just another excuse for us to get together more often, man.
Yeah, and and like it's the thing, Vinny, I think that's like you don't make plans for stupid shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I think that just we'll be in the bar, we'll talk to each other, and then just like everybody's there, everybody's taught. You know what I mean? Like, and like I said earlier about Joe from Working Class Stiff saying that it was like walking into a bar at home because you knew everybody, but everybody was from different states, areas. Like it was a cool feeling.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. Except for when they were doing their Buffalo chant, because we're Eagles fans.
well, I was surprised with like the whole like Steel City Destroyers, the whole Steelers thing that they let that fly. But whatever. I just thought they were doing like that, doing the Chubby Checker shout song. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like Animal House,
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, and I was also kind of throwing them little digs from the stage too, but luckily I was wearing my Jason Voorhees mask, so I guess nobody wanted to fuck with that.
When I first walked up and watched you guys, you had that on, and I was like, well, he ain't fucking around tonight.
Friday the 13th, baby. You gotta celebrate. It's one of the best days of the year.
That's what I thought. I was just like, that man is prepared today. I was like, good for him.
Man, you gotta go to work prepared, right?
Yeah. Like dress for the job you want, not the one that you have, right?
Exactly.
So you guys have been like, obviously Pittsburgh. You played in Ohio a couple weeks ago too, right? On that Punkerton Records showcase thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been like out and about in a whole bunch of different scenes. What can you give me just a little? How's it been? Is it everybody cool? Everybody?
Dude, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I gotta say, man, I mean, like, first of all, just to kind of speak to what you were talking about, walking into Porky's in Pittsburgh and everybody kind of feeling at home, like you nailed it with that one. Because we've all been kind of, joining this community through the pandemic stuff with Camp Punksylvania and getting to know one another online and to be able to walk in there and know people, it was great. With Columbus, it was a little bit different because we had just kind of randomly hooked up with the Punkerton crew and online, and they needed somebody to fill a slot. I think, what was it, like 3 days, 4 days? Something like that.
It was 2 days that you're like, yeah, we're gonna be playing Ohio, and we're like, we didn't take them seriously. We were like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then we were like, oh shit, it's really happening. we're really playing Ohio in 2 days.
I mean, I did ask permission first, just to make sure, but it was like a very last minute thing, and the promoter Brandon out there of Punkerton Records, he really nailed it, dude. Like that place was packed to the brim. It was the Summit Music Hall in Columbus, and
I saw Lagwagon and Face to Face there, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a great venue.
Yeah.
I mean, like, everything top notch there, dude. Like the sound was great, the stage was great, but the most important thing is, dude, like the scene was fantastic. We rolled up in Columbus, and those dudes helped us unload our car, get our stuff inside, made sure that we were well taken care of. Like it literally felt like family. And then when we got on stage, man, and we got the reception that we got, being from out of town and being there for our first time, we would never be able to top that for a first show. It would just never happen.
That's great.
They were so so welcoming. It was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, well, I know that Brandon from Punkerton Records, that dude works his ass off. Like I can tell, you know what I mean? And I was just, I know he's doing good things, man. And I love this dude. It's kind of like everybody took the pandemic and like either went one way or the other with it. And I feel like we've all like kind of formed together and are kind of making this our own. You know what I mean? Like this is our scene now, kind of, you know?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
And I like it.
So do we.
Yeah, I'm not even in a fucking band and I love it. You know what I mean? Like I'm living vicariously through you guys.
Hey man, you're just as big a part of this as anybody.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that. To be any part of it, I'm happy. Like, and you know, when I took my break there and like instantly fucking my phone just went off and you were, I didn't even speak to you at that point. And like, you were one of the first people to write, dude, like, you don't know how much that means. It's like, especially from strain, you know what I mean? People you don't really know, like, it was uplifting and it kind of showed, I don't know, it made me taking a step back, actually showed me like what I'm doing here is good. Or what we're doing, because without Nick here, I'm just like, you know, me in a Zoom meeting, and if anything fucks up, the whole interview's over because I can't edit or anything. Like I'm like I can turn on my fucking microwave half the time, you know.
So note to self: don't ask Jimmy for ramen noodles.
No, but Jimmy's been a chef for 19 years, you know.
Well, there you go. You can work the stove, just not the microwave.
You
right?
got it, man. And funny story about a microwave, quick. I once blew up 3 of them in one day. And that's no bullshit. At a bar I worked at, 3 microwaves one day. They were not happy.
I can only imagine, man.
But hey, you buy junk, you get junk, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You're really starting to sound like me. I didn't blow up 3 microwaves,
but like it wasn't like
I definitely have a lot in common. I can't.
Yeah, but I didn't like put like forks or nothing in there. I mean, I'd like to, but
I think there might have been a bigger problem if there was a fork in there, just because it would have turned into like a projectile, and then you would have had like some kind of, you know, injury thing happening. So
I would have probably still had a fork sticking out of the side of my head because that's just my luck, man. It wouldn't have killed me. It wouldn't have done anything. It had just made me look really stupid, you know, stupider.
Hey, man, it's like that dude from The Great Outdoors. You know, that guy that always gets struck by lightning.
Yes.
Right? You know, it's like that. Like how many
Classic.
times, dude? How many times you get struck by lightning? 6 times. 66 times. I love it.
Oh, dude,
love it.
just like we were saying earlier, just we got the best as far as that goes, as far as I'm concerned, it's movie wise. But to the big news, you got obviously the sad news first was Big Wig having to drop off Camp Punksylvania, but the good news, go ahead,
Yeah. So
you
these guys, right?
these guys,
we were honored to accept a main stage slot on Camp Punksylvania on September 10th. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now.
I was like seriously when I saw that pop up, like I was like, I like Big Wig, I've seen them 1,000 times, and like honestly, like I would rather watch you guys at this point, just because like I like what's going on here. Like it's just everything feels good, everything feels right about what everything, you know what I mean? Just, and I was genuinely happy for you guys. I really was.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, like I said, this was a different take for me this time because for once I heard the band before I actually like talked to them, because usually it's like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. And I got to go vice versa this time, which was nice.
Yeah, man. You know, it was. I mean, just being asked to play Pittsburgh, you know, last Friday was an honor in and of itself. And I don't use that term lightly either. Throw that around, that word honor, but
No.
it really is, because, like you said, man, this community has just been so welcoming to us and to everyone really that's a part of it. And you know, Terry and Laura at Riot Squad and all the folks at Steel City, like everyone at that place that came to show out for all the bands. I mean, it felt so good to be a part of that. And then to get the news just a couple days later that we were going to be able to join the main stage at camp. Like we were going to be there anyway. You know, we were going to be there and support everyone and hang out and talk with everyone anyway. But to be able to actually set up our gear and to play on that stage, like that's I'm not saying this lightly either, especially to be opening for the Voodoo Glow Skulls. Like it's a dream come true for me personally.
Dude, how could, you know what I mean? Anybody's into punk rock. I mean, it would be, you know? And like what you said about using the term honored, like, the Steel City Destroyers, mentioned to me about making their new merch, and like that's exactly how I answered them. Was like I'd be honored because again, I don't use that lightly either, but like that's a fucking big thing to me. You know what I mean? Like those guys do good things. Like every time I'm out there, they're putting on a show, and they're you know what I mean? Like with the Pittsburgh period thing. Last time it was for burnt children and stuff like that, but they're always fucking raising money for people, like for charities and stuff. Like they're good people.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I really like what they got going on. And when they mentioned it, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like please,
That's all. Well, I can't wait to see what you guys cook up together. That's for sure.
No, I'm like excited for it too because I never even seen any of their merch other than like their back patches and their cuts or whatever. When I first went there the first time with Abe, I was like, "Are you guys like a fucking biker gang?" And he's like, "No, dude." He's like, "Only like 3 of us have motorcycles." I was like, "Well, then what kind of fucking gang are you?" He's like, he's, he's like, "We're a drinking club, Jimmy." And I was like, "Oh, so not a gang at all."
I mean, it does kind of look like it though, right? With the denim vest and the patch and all that.
Well, like when I showed up to that cool Cutz Fest back in July there, like when I got there, it was only Destroyers there. So like it's Cutz and me. And I'm just like, oh fuck, man, like what did I get into today? But it turns out I got into something really good because they're all awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the fact that they have their own little home turf bar, and like I just think the whole situation's cool too.
Yeah, and it allows them to kind of like reach out because when you're a person, it's great when you're doing something charitable, right? But when you have a group behind you and you have a brand like they do and everything else, and you can kind of have that club where you can all gather and get together, you can plan bigger, you can think bigger, and so you can be a lot more charitable than just a guy that's sitting behind his desk every day and and doing stuff like
So,
that.
so you're
You know,
trying to tell me that 2 minds might be better than one?
sometimes, and sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of people that argue that, but you are correct. So I got to know, what's the New Jersey scene like, man? I've been there one time. I went to Newark to see the Misfits show when they reunited in 2018. I paid a lot of money to be there, but it was cool. And everybody's like, Jersey, Newark, it's trash, blah, blah, blah. I didn't think it was that bad. I just didn't understand. You guys have cars on risers. How the fuck does that work?
Yeah, that part's a little weird. Well, Philly's actually super involved in the whole scene here. So
Yeah, I also run a podcast myself.
Oh, really?
I promote a lot of bands in New Jersey, and help them out, give them some airtime on my podcast.
What's it called, man?
It's NJ Sound Bites, and Bites is with a Y. And we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. We even have an Instagram with like 2 pictures, but that's not that important.
Just like my merch site that has 3 pictures now.
But yeah, man, the scene in New Jersey is freaking awesome. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I live here. I've been to so many shows here, and the people that host the shows, that the bookers and stuff here, they're very welcoming, and they allow so many people out of state to come here, and we're just as welcoming to out of state bands just like anywhere else, with us. So it's cool.
No, that's good. And like, I don't know. It seems like we've kind of got this tri-state thing like pretty fucking covered right now, like between everybody. And I'm gonna like actually listen. No, I'm gonna have something to do tonight because I'm gonna check out your podcast, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely,
well,
dude.
I will say, and this is coming from a Philly boy, so Philly people that are listening and watching this, take note. If we go over the bridge in Philly, it's a little bit of a different scene, because for as welcoming as everyone was out in Western Pennsylvania, it's a lot harder in Eastern Pennsylvania. I will say that.
I would believe
Philly
that.
area. It's there's a lot of gatekeeping. There's a lot of you go to shows, whether you're attending a show or you're watching from the stage. There's a lot of like people looking at their shoes or standing at the back wall with their arms crossed, like it's hard to impress them. So that's a little bit harder to crack, Philly scene. But we try to branch out. We try to find like-minded people, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, well, like you guys are welcome into this. Where you were last Friday, you guys are always welcome. So
Yeah, dude.
That's
We
awesome,
appreciate
man.
that.
No, I
Definitely
like,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
because I stay with Abe, you know what I mean, when I go down there all the time, and like him and I just become very like me and that whole band really, but you know, we were saying when we got home, I was just like, man, like those guys were cool. Like everybody was so funny. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, next time, he's like, I'm gonna make sure everybody has a place to stay and blah blah blah. And because I guess the guys from Working Class Stiff stayed in this fucking B&B, right? And it was like
Mhm.
92 degrees in there, and they had to leave at like 5 in the morning because they couldn't breathe.
Dude, ours wasn't that bad. We actually stayed in an Airbnb as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we stayed in Carnegie.
Carnegie,
Oh,
yep.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
I used to work in Carnegie. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
I lived down there from 2005 to 2010, and dude, and this is the difference. There was not a scene like that down there then, like at all. And I was like, I was in bars all the time. You know what I mean? I was looking for it, non-existent. And it's like I look at it now, and it's like, dude, there's fucking 15 great bands out there. You like alone, like, come on.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like I was really surprised that not surprised in a bad way, but just like, I didn't have any expectation, but when we got to Carnegie and we got to like kind of travel around a little bit, it was such a nice little town, man. They have a nice main street. Their coffee shop is the best. I wound up what was it called? It was just
It was the Carnegie Coffee Shop.
Yeah. It was like in an
Yeah.
old post office, dude. It was so cool because they had like the postmaster's old door there and like PO boxes where the countertops were. It was really cool. But yeah, man, we stayed in an Airbnb. It wasn't quite 93 degrees in there, but it got hot. It got real hot.
It did get pretty hot.
Yeah.
Oh, that next day driving home was hot as hell too, man. It was just like, you know, the shots that the tequila Jocko made me do before I left too probably didn't help the cause either. But like, cause I don't really drink, man. And then like I did, and I'm just like pouring sweat then, you know what I mean? Like turning on the AC, and I'm like, I don't want to waste all the gas, and just cause I'm cheap.
And help was the rain, honestly, because we thought it was gonna be fine all weekend, but then it was raining all weekend, and then that humidity that came after that rain is what made it
Oh,
feel
I know. I know. And sometimes it works out in your favor. It'll take the humidity out, or like you said, it'll just make it fucking 10 times worse.
Yeah, just like laid a blanket on the entire Pittsburgh metropolitan area.
Dude, Pittsburgh literally is like little Seattle, and that I will say is stayed the same. It's either fucking hotter than hell or it's always raining. Like, yeah.
Well, it's good to know, man, because yeah, we were coming in, I guess it was Thursday night, and these guys went a little earlier than I did, but I got caught, dude. It was literally like driving through waterfalls on the bike, just trying to get there.
Ah.
It was
torrential downpour.
Well, that's actually when I was driving home from Sloppy Seconds last night. That's exact. I hit that too, man. I was like starting to hydroplane and shit, and I'm like, all right, slow down. need to get home, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So what? Do you guys have any shows coming up soon before camp or anything like that? What you got
Yeah.
going on?
We have a show, Grace Ferry in Philadelphia. We'll be playing at a skate park, and that will be August 28th, 2 Saturdays from now.
Is that just you
Yeah, no.
guys, or who are you with?
Well, it's actually with a lot of the crew that we played with, like the Riot Squad crew. They're doing, I guess, actually, I can pull up while we're working together here. I can give you the whole bill. Yeah, but like Working Class Stiffs are going to be there. We know that for sure.
Dude, those guys, they like, I love ska punk, but those guys just like, they put ska punk like, they got it.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, it was great. And Billy has some great stories about their drummer that we met there.
Oh, Working Class Stiffs. Yeah. So, Rob Moyer, he's the drummer for Working Class Stiffs. He let me use his kit the other day in Pittsburgh. And then he's just such a personable guy, man. Like him and I were just talking for a good 45 minutes outside after our shows, and he even tried offering me a job. He's like, if you were in the Buffalo area, I would offer you a job. You know, he's just such a cool guy, man.
Yeah, man. Such cool people.
And he was saying that we're going to be playing the same show on the 28th, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, I didn't even know that. Oh, it's pretty cool being able to say, hey, I'll see you at the next show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the same band you played with. So
No,
That's like one of the things that Billy and I joked about, especially was walking out. It's like we're a band from Jersey. We're standing in Pittsburgh, and we're telling the band from Buffalo, "Hey, we'll see you in Philly." You know, it's like
But
it
that was
it's
with
such
was
a
every.
surreal.
cool thing.
But that was with everybody though. It was like, hey, I'll see you soon. You know what I mean? And everybody was a different
Mhm.
state, but it's like, I'll see you soon. You know what I mean? Like, no joke. Like, and we'll all see each other again really fucking soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's
So
awesome.
like, so this bill's it's got the Public Serpents on it, so
Okay.
they'll be back there.
They
It's
were
got
great too,
Stolen.
by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I've been listening to those to their tracks a lot. Just on my own time. Just I'm becoming a fan of theirs. There's also Stolen Wheelchairs are on the bill.
Oh, okay.
Froggy,
Oh,
that we said Working Class This, and then Brandon Ritchie's also on the bill, and they're raising supplies for, it's called Punks with Lunch, or yeah, I think it's South Philly Punks with Lunch. So you could bring like non-perishable foods, hygiene products, stuff like that. You can take that to the show, and the Riot Squad media crew is going to collect all of that and deliver it with Punks with Lunch to the people in the community that need it.
that's cool. Hopefully it's not Chris Farley with like 60 bagged lunches. Who the hell would eat 60 bagged lunches?
Oh,
Get
man.
on the bus.
Just get on the tip.
Yeah.
No, but that's great. And like I was saying that earlier too, it's like, these shows just aren't, shows either. Like everything's charitable, everything's going to something, everybody's raising money for something. Like everything's a positive. And like you can't go wrong there, man.
Not at all.
Like, I don't know.
Look, we're all on this crazy shit together, man. So it's better to reach out in some way, whatever way you can. And if you can't afford, like the other day, we were raising feminine hygiene products. If you can't afford a box of feminine hygiene products, that's fine. Like just tell a friend, so that friend that maybe can give back to their community.
Right.
It's all about working together.
Yeah, yeah. And like it's awesome because like we're an army now working together, our own army, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like 3-4
Right.
states worth of army. We're all weird looking motherfuckers, but we're nice people.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's just this whole thing has just been, it's just getting better and better, and I love it. Like I'm so glad to be a part of it. Like, and so glad you guys are. Like, you guys kind of just came out of nowhere for me too. Like, it was just like, boom, there you were. And I was like, all right, well, okay. And then the next thing I know, boom, like you were just coming closer and closer, and boom, Friday, there you were. And I was like, fuck, man.
I think we came out of nowhere for ourselves too, to be honest.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. So you were talking about how people, like during the pandemic, is they either went one way and they made the most of it, or they went the other way.
Right.
I was kind of determined myself to make the most out of it. So initially, I've been making music for way too long, man. And I had just a hard drive filled with songs that I've written and recorded over the years. And I was determined to put out this record that I started writing 15 years ago. I'm not joking by saying that. I'll actually, because I'm putting your stickers in the mail, I'm going to send you a copy of this record.
Oh, dude, thank you.
It's not punk rock. It's more like kind of like electronic music a little bit. But it's rock based, but I made it with a lot of synth stuff. And that was kind of the catalyst that got it going. So what I did was, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to finish this thing. I'm also going to work on this other stuff. And I just reached out to a bunch of local musicians just to see if they wanted to work together remotely. And that's how I met Shannon,
Okay.
our lead singer. And dude, the first time I heard Shannon sing, man, it was, I always tell the story, but it really happened this way. So she sang a line on my song, and the very last word is the word again. And just the way that her voice kind of just went in and out, and it went through you and backwards and through you again, it really just, it struck me, dude. And I fell in love with her voice immediately, and I was like, I have to make more music with this person. So we started doing some other stuff together. We got to work on a couple of songs with Josh Freese,
For the Vandals and stuff?
from the Vandals.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, from the Vandals and like A Perfect Circle.
Yeah.
And he plays with Sting. I think he's like touring with The Offspring right now.
He is because of Pete's, well, yeah.
Yeah. But we got to make a couple tunes with him.
Dude, that's
which was
fucking awesome.
incredible. Yeah, and we also we also got to make a song with Lisa Loeb, which that was another one. It was kind of like, holy shit, how did that happen? But it did.
Damn it, what was her song? It's in my head. Oh my god.
Day.
All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I was gonna break into it, and I just couldn't get the words right. But
duet it, man. We'll do it.
I remember now.
Yeah, but we got to make a song with her, and that's how it started. It was just like a group of people. We called it a collective, like a musical collective that would write songs and do these projects. But then what happened was when restrictions started lifting and we got together in a room, we realized we had some really amazing live chemistry too. And that's when because I was done with the band thing. I wanted to be more of like a producer, just kind of like work behind the scenes. Like I'd mentioned earlier, being the guy behind the desk and
yeah,
being by myself.
Yeah.
But then I realized that kind of sucks. So so we started jamming, and we got together with a couple other dudes, and schedule wise it wasn't working out. So I found Billy, and I'll let him tell like the longer version of that story. But when we found Billy, man, we got in a room together, the four of us, it was just like it clicked immediately, and we just knew that it was something pretty special there. So we hit the ground running, and we don't plan on stopping. So
no, dude, that's awesome. So Billy, you can tell the story or what, man?
Yeah, man. So like I mentioned earlier, I do the podcast here for New Jersey local bands, and on one of the episodes that I did, it happened to be a friend of Vinny's, and he checked out the podcast, and I guess he did some like Facebook stalking or whatever onto my page to kind of see who I was.
He calls it stalking. I say research.
I like the research thing way better too.
So he did some research on my page, and the first thing he notices at the time, I had a Metallica cover photo on the top of my page, and he was like, "I love him already," because I'm a fan of Metallica. So he reached out to me, and then we were talking for a couple of days, and then I told him that I was in a band and I'm a drummer, and he's like, "Wow, that's awesome." Then he asked me if I would be able to play the Pittsburgh show. Ironically, and this was a couple months ago actually. He asked me if I would play this Pittsburgh show, and I was like, "I don't know, man. I was supposed to be playing somewhere in Atlantic City. I had a show book with one of my other bands." And ironically, that's the same time I'm telling him this, they canceled that show. And I was like, you know what? You still looking for a drummer? I'm in. So we had a couple practices just to kind of get our feet wet, just to see how it sounded as a whole with everybody together. And after the first practice, they were like, "You're in, dude. We love you. We need you in here." And then from there, we played Ohio and did the Pittsburgh thing, and now we're gonna be playing all these other shows, and that's how it is.
And music's weird because like I was talking to this drummer kid from like Silver State College. He's about 20 some miles away, and I was like, do you want to get together and jam and this and that? And he was like trying to like basically, and he was a younger kid. He was like trying to get me to like send him a resume or something, or like, tracks and stuff of me playing bass. And I'm like, listen, man, I'm fucking 38 years old. Like I'll be damned if you think I'm going to go through all this. Like we get in a room, we see if we can even stand each other for the first fucking 15 minutes. Cause you know what I mean? And there's just some musicians like nobody, you know what I mean? You, me, nobody could work with, you know what I mean? It's just, but and if something's right, like in your case there, you know what I mean? When it's there, it's there, you feel it. You feed off of each other. And this kid like being like, "Well, I need some drum track." I'm like, "Buddy, just never mind. Never mind. I'm good here." Like,
listen, man, I'll post another thing on Craigslist to find somebody else. Just leave me alone.
I live in like my apartment. It's upstairs, and a chick went band around here after I'd already left for Pittsburgh Friday. They were playing a local show, and I'm selling my like one practice amp. It's like a PV fucking TNT, 130, 160, whatever. And she's like, "Hey, can I rent that off you for 3 hours for $20? And I'm like, "Lady, that's not worth carrying down my fucking stairs for $20. You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like I'm sorry, but it's just not like that's a thing's a tank. Like, no. And I'm getting too old for that shit. If it's coming downstairs, like it's coming down for me to play it. Like, yeah.
Coming down for me to play it or get rid of it.
Yeah. And I was just like, come on, man. Like, and like, I don't mind. Like, if we're all playing the same show, fuck it, use the amp. You know what I mean? But like, to just give it and go, like, that's weird. I don't like it. You know, I just, you don't want people spilling booze and shit all over your stage. You know what I mean? It's just, you don't know.
Never know, dude.
No, and obviously I wasn't going to be at that show 2 blocks from my house. I was coming to the one 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, we let a couple of bands borrow our PA system. This is way back. This is when I was like a teenager playing in bands, and was like, oh yeah, can we borrow your PA system? It was like a brand new thing we got from Guitar Center or something like that. And we're like, yeah, man, you could use our PA. Well, these motherfuckers spilt all kinds of beer on like the actual mixing board, and the speakers were all like kind of ripped up afterwards, and the thing was brand new. And we're just like, we probably shouldn't do that again. But you know what though, with that said, when you have a community like the one we've been talking about and you all know each other, that's when the magic happens, because you know for a fact, like, you respect one another, you respect each other's gear, respect each other's, personal space or whatever.
Yeah, and like in Pittsburgh, I'm sure if something would have happened to anything and somebody else would have did it, I'm sure they'd have been paying you for it, or it would have been taken care of, because like there wasn't a bad soul in that building that night as far as I'm concerned.
Not a single one, man.
No, like I don't know, man. Look, it was so crazy too, because like you live, you go through Friday night, like, oh, that was great and stuff, but then day or two, you really look back on it and you're like, you really see how great it was. You know what I mean? Like, it was better than just just a normal punk rock show. It was really cool.
It's one of those times where like, when you look back and like, oh man, I wish I was back in those days, man. Well, that day was one of those days.
Mm-hmm. But that's, now I look back on my 20s being like, yeah, those were badass. But I feel like in 10 years from now, right now is going to be the time I'm looking back and being like, man, shit was, and hopefully it's still fucking fire then and everybody's still going. Like, I hope it is. Like, I don't even care if we're old.
I hope so too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm the same age as you are. My band members are a little bit younger, but I've been at this for a long time, and I've never experienced something this fast, this natural, it's so cool, man. Like, we are, we're on top of playing Camp, on top of playing Philly, we're going to Atlanta in November. We're playing a show. We also might have a gig in South Carolina that weekend, depending on, the circumstance behind it. And then we have a tour, as long as everything goes well with the world, we have a tour to the Midwest set up in January. We're going to be going out to Chicago and Indianapolis. We're going back to Ohio, West Virginia, man. So it's just like, this is the stuff that I've always wanted to do. And we want to spread that, kind of that love of our scene, what we're building here. We want to spread that around to these other places, because that's what we're all about. We want to show people, hey, we can do this. We can have fun. We could be there to support one another. And, let's just make some music. Let's just make some memories, man. That's what we're all about.
Yeah. And I'm actually we have this amphitheater in my town, and I'm going to the meeting tomorrow night to see about putting on shows here. So
nice.
You're in mine. So I'll let you know.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah,
you will be there.
No, awesome, dude. Like, and everybody's been like, yeah, we'll help you. And that's the thing. Like, nobody's even said no to me. You know what I mean? They're like, absolutely. If you can do it, we'll do it. Like but it's a beautiful amphitheater set on this dam. Like the setting's beautiful, man. Like, you couldn't ask for a better spot, and it doesn't get used. I'll bet you it's been there 20 years. I've seen it used 15 times.
Wow.
And it's really sad. I'll send
Bring it back to life, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm going there tomorrow night. I'll send you pictures of it tonight, video. I'll show you it's beautiful, man. Like,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, and it's all powered.
Guess what, man? Guess what? You can use my PA. I know that you want to be on it.
I already had a local guy message me and tell me, he's like, if you get that going, he's like, I'll run sound for you. Like, all right,
Hell
cool. Yeah. One last thing. I saw you guys have an album coming out, or?
Yeah, we were writing some notes on the back of my mail here a little bit earlier about
Can't really see them, but
no, well, we have so we've been releasing singles. And I had mentioned earlier that we were working on like a ton of different songs. And we wanted a way to kind of like compile all of that into one thing so that people can really get a taste of what we're all about. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to take some of those tracks that have already seen the light of day, but we're going to put a little bit of a different twist to it. This way people can get something fresh and new from it. They'll be able to hear Billy on there. They'll be able to hear Shannon and Cody and everything else. So we plan on doing that, plus recording some additional tracks. We're actually, are you familiar with the Bouncing Souls?
Oh my yes. Oh my yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I became friendly with Pete, their guitar player,
Yeah.
a couple years back, and he's got a studio up in North Jersey. So we're gonna go cut a couple tracks with him in his home studio.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah, dude.
That'll be what, September 17th and 18th?
I think so. Yeah. So that stuff should be mixed and mastered by the end of September. So our EP is going to come out, and I would say probably by November. You know, when we're playing those shows in November, we'll have that out.
Cool.
And then next year, you know, after the tour, we plan on going into the studio and doing a full length.
Well, I'll be getting them all. So
thanks,
Awesome.
man.
no, absolutely, dude. Like that's what I'm here to do. It's like I said, I like supporting you guys. You guys support me. You know, it's all one big happy family.
Hell yeah, dude. And like I said, we have some T-shirts to send your way too.
Oh, for real? Oh yeah, I definitely need one of those. Like I said, let me know if you need me to send you something too. Like, I'll gladly. Also with the Bouncy Souls, first time I saw them, dude, it took me years to see them. Till 2018 at that Camp Punk in Drublic. So they played Sunday. So like we're already beat to hell because like the first year was just the setup was horrible. Like you had to walk miles to go anywhere. Like I'm talking miles just to get down. Like it was a shitty situation. But it was like almost 100 degrees that day. Me and my friend do this thing, which you'll see at Camp Punksylvania. We dress like the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
But it was so hot, dude. I cut the sleeves off my suit jacket. That's how hot it was. But anyway, the Souls are playing. It's blistering hot, whatever. I caught the fucking drumstick when he threw it. That September, I see them again at Riot Fest in Chicago. And dude, I got a picture on Riot Fest website. It was just like they took a shot of the crowd, and I was literally the fucking focal point of the picture, which was awesome. But dude, I missed that second drumstick by like, I was like, oh my god! I'm like, how awesome would that have been to get, you know? But just to even have one, like, it was just they were cool. They're cool guys. I've always loved the Bouncy Souls. Like, it's just good, happy, upbeat, good stuff.
Yeah, man. Their bassist Brian Keeneland, he's got a tattoo parlor up.
Yeah, Anchors Away tattoo, right?
And I got one of my chest. You probably can't see it. Yeah, I'm not going to disrobe for your viewers.
We'll do that on like the private stuff.
Yeah, you know.
The Patreon shit.
Exactly, OnlyFans version of Morning Buzz with Jimmy.
Yeah, $5 for Vinny's chest.
Yep. But yeah, man, Brian did one of my chest things, and I'm going to go back to him to do a couple of my other things too. But they're good dudes, man, and they take care of people that are up and coming. They don't let, you know, their fame and fortune, you know, taint themselves. You know, like I actually met them. They weren't playing with the Bouncing Souls. They were playing with their other band called Beach Rats, and they're in that band with Brian Baker, who plays with like Bad Religion, and he was with Minor Threat and stuff. So
and Dag Nasty.
Yeah, man, Dag Nasty. Yep.
Yeah, I love Brian.
A lot of people don't know Dag Nasty, but you know, dude, like, and they were all just like such great guys, and you know, and kept in touch, and I'm very grateful that they were able to kind of like pass it along, that wisdom and knowledge, you know.
Well, that was like, I kind of had a similar situation with just like my obsession with the Rich Kids on LSD, you know, like I ordered a malt soda shirt. They didn't get my order. I emailed them about it, and like, you know, I'm a nerd because you know, we didn't have the internet when we were growing up, so I still read the inside of the CDs. I knew who Scooter was because he was the producer, and are you that guy? He's like, yeah, and I was like, hey, I got a podcast, and like, we're friends now. We talk all the time, and like through that, I've met a bunch of, you know, the living members of RKL and stuff, and they've sent me stuff, and like it's fucking cool, man.
It is, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like we're saying, one big family. We just got to keep it rolling that way.
Yeah, man, just keep doing the positive stuff, you know. So
having those connections is wild, man.
Dude, it's weird.
but it's awesome though. It's awesome.
Yeah. Simeon from Stupid Rat actually helped me, like when I was practicing with the t-shirts, like my first batch of, he ordered them for me and sent them out to me. And my one friend looks at me and she's like, wait a minute. So you can just get a hold of that guy that owns that company and he just does that for you. And I was, yeah. I mean, I'm like, we're friends. And she's like, you don't think that's weird? And I was like cool weird or like weird? She's like, you like know famous people. And I'm like, so they're only as famous as you want them. They're just people.
Yeah, they're just people.
Yeah, they're good people, like, because that shit can definitely go to people's heads.
It was funny. Like there was one time when we were working with Lisa Loeb. She's got a couple cats, and her one cat is kind of much older, and I'm a cat dad myself. So we just I was supposed to be helping her with this recording thing, and we just wound up talking about our cats for an hour, So I was talking to somebody came over the house. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm just talking to Lisa. Lisa who? Lisa Loeb? What?" And then after we hang up, it's like, "What were you guys talking about?" Our cats.
Yeah, well, that's my buddy's like, dude, did you ever scroll through and see who likes your pictures? I'm like, no, I don't really I don't pay attention to you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. They're like, it's not even anybody from home. It's just all I see is band members and he's like, how the fuck? I don't know. I meet these people and we stay connected. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's taking 2 weeks off this, and I realized that a little bit too. I'm like, and then especially, dude, Pittsburgh was the big thing for me. It was just wow. The Millville thing a week before, you guys should definitely try to get on that bill next year. That it was 260 bands in 2 days. It was fucking nuts, dude.
We would love that. And
the whole town basically shuts down, and then there's bar after bar that's fucking has a lineup all day long. You know what I mean? Yeah, and everything, just businesses, hot dog carts, all that fun stuff, and just the parking shitty, but
hey, man.
Yeah, you can't win them all, right? But
yeah, dude. I mean, I think you mentioned, taking that 2 weeks and really kind of rejuvenating yourself and getting the gas tank back to full. I mean, that's an important thing to do for yourself, man. And I'm glad that you did it. It seems like it really wound up paying off for you.
Oh, dude, it did. I was hungry to come back to do this, and 2 weeks ago I was part of me that I did not want to miss a week because Nick, what did we do? 21 weeks or something straight or something, and that's pretty good, man. Yeah. And I was just man, I hate to stop it, but it's you got to take a break. And that's what Brandon from the Philly Lowdown. He's they're called vacations. Everybody fucking takes them, dude.
Yeah.
It's all right, you make sense there. But where can everybody find you on the interwebs and all that stuff?
Yeah, so we have you can find us on socials. We're at loudlove.music. You have to make sure to put that dot there. And then you can also find us at loudlovemusic.com. We actually have a pretty cool .com. You can check out pictures, videos, audio. You can check out our past tour dates, upcoming tour dates. And then our music is pretty much everywhere too. We're on Spotify and Bandcamp and Apple Music. But the thing that we like best, man, is when people, direct message us, email us, start up a conversation. Don't ever be afraid to reach out to us because you're going to get one of us on the other end and we're going to have a real conversation with you. It's not going to be this kind of automated message. Thank you for your
right.
time and your work.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. We're going to become buds, man. If you support our stuff. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out, but those are the main spaces you'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that.
Cool. And you guys said you'll be there are you going to be there all weekend for Punksylvania?
We're going to be there for most of the time.
Okay.
I think we might not be there Thursday.
I know that's a kind of tough one for everybody. Yeah, I get it. But
we'll be around the campfire, man. We'll be there watching the other bands. We'll be there helping Laura and Terry and everybody else set up and break down as much as we can. So
then we're going to be spending a lot of time together, buddy.
Oh yeah.
But dude, thank you guys for taking the time, and thank you guys for a fucking kick-ass show. You guys have a great sound too. I didn't get to that part, but you guys sound great. And I know there was even some sound issues and whatnot, but you guys still it was fucking good, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, no, thank you. And
yeah, we appreciate you, man.
But dude, the feelings mutual here too. And
thanks for having us on, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I'm going home and checking out your stuff too, that podcast too, man, because I just got nothing better to do anyway. So I'm not gonna go home and make that bass track for that kid or nothing. You know what I mean?
Or those ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Blow up,
No.
blow up the apartment.
Don't blow up your microwave. this
No,
time.
I don't even have a microwave in the house right now. I just moved. But
That's
let's,
a good thing, everyone. That's a good thing, Jimmy's neighbors. No microwave.
yeah, among other things. But seriously, I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you soon for real.
Hell yeah, man.
Yep, man.
All right,
Thanks
we'll
for
talk- Yeah, thank you, guys. Take care.
Later.
Thank you. See you. And that was Loud Love out of New Jersey. Vinny and Billy. They're fucking great. Just like they said, last Friday was just that was something special that happened, and I was very happy to be a part of it. I'm very happy to be back. I like doing this, and I wasn't even sure if I liked doing this, but I fucking like it. You know, I always like, you play music for like 17 years, and you're like, I just want to be in the punk scene in a band. Well, sometimes that doesn't always work out that way, but it's still cool to be in the scene, making shirts, doing this, whatever. So I'm happy. Everybody else is happy, and that's what's important. But until next time, how did we do this? Oh yeah, you buy the fucking ticket and you take the goddamn ride. We'll see you next time.